Okay, for phase 2, you need basically 3 components. We are going to do the questionnaire. You are going to do an Excel spreadsheet with all the data that you've captured from your questionnaire. And then you will process the information in Access later on. So first, for the questionnaire, to start doing the questionnaire, you will have to choose one of the spreadsheets or create a spreadsheet depending on what you choose. So I'm going to show you some different spreadsheets you can choose from, and this is going to depend on your focus. So you will see in the folder that I've shared that there are 4 different Excel spreadsheets. The one says survey information school learners, the other one talks about educators, and then there's 2 other ones that give you a bit more freedom with the information that you insert. So if I look at the one that is called school learners, you will see I already gave you 20 names, surnames, and other information on 20 people basically who answered your questionnaire, right? So in the first place, you are going to have to add here at least 5 entries so that you have 25 entries. You will see that you get a mark that you need to have 25 entries here, or 25 completed questionnaires where those questionnaires, so you basically need to add 5. Yeah, okay, I'll tell you how we're going to make the questionnaires, the 25 from here. So firstly, you need to add here your 5 extra people who filled in your questionnaire. Just remember to renumber your candidates here or your participants, and you fill the series. And then, yes, you will just choose your names and surnames, the ages of the respondents, male or female, the area that they reside in, and then you will put in your yeses and nos and things here, which again will make a little bit more sense if you maybe try and do the rest of this after I spoke about the questionnaire now. So you can either do that now, insert your yeses and nos and your number of WhatsApp groups and so on, or you can wait till a little bit later. Okay, so the point is here that you need to choose an Excel spreadsheet that fits in with what your idea is of your focus. So if you want to focus your questionnaire on school learners, you will choose the one with the school learners, and there's different options for that one. If you want to focus your research on educators and how they are using technology in their teaching and way of educating after COVID, you will choose the one on the educators. Okay. After you have chosen which one you want, please delete the other Excel spreadsheets that you have in the folder, okay? Because you only want to be left with the one that you are going to use, and then obviously for me to mark. Okay, so now after you've chosen, you are going to go to your questionnaire. The first thing you need to do in your questionnaire is, and I've pasted a little screenshot for you there with instructions. You're going to type a paragraph, okay? What do you need to have in this paragraph? First, you need a sentence that says what your research is about. So you will start by saying, my research is focused on finding out how we are using technology differently in education after COVID. Something like that, in your own words. Your second sentence, you are basically going to answer the second question here. So your second sentence will answer the question to how will this questionnaire help you find the answers to the questions. So I will maybe say to the respondents, by completing this questionnaire, you are assisting in helping me find out how technology is being used in education since COVID has started. And then your last sentence of your paragraph will be a little sentence where you just basically thank the person. Thank you for participating in my research assignment and taking the time to fill in this form, or something like that. Just to be that professional, polite type of thing. Okay. Now you've got your little paragraph there at the beginning of your questionnaire, please, please, please go and delete that screenshot when you are done with your paragraph. Okay. Now the next step. This is going to depend on which Excel spreadsheet you used. So if I can go back to my Excel spreadsheet now, I'm going to use the school learners, for example, and to make this easier for myself, but please, you need to delete this afterwards so that I don't need to switch back and forth between the Excel spreadsheet and the questionnaire. I'm going to copy the headings of my Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to go to my questionnaire and I am going to paste those headings at the bottom of my questionnaire. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. And basically all I'm doing is looking at the headings to see what information I'm going to put in here. So the biographical information is the person's personal details, okay? So their name, surname, age, gender, and the area that they live in will form part of the biographical information. So as you can see, I gave you an example of how to do the first one there. And the idea is that you are now putting in the headings in a way that the person can fill in this form. So you're going to have name, surname. Oh, you know, I'm pressing the wrong buttons here. Sorry. Okay, so here I will have surname with my colon and a space to fill in. If you would like to use your developer tools, okay, so you have most your tick boxes, your rich text fields, combo boxes, all those types of things, and you can use that for your questionnaire. Okay, so after you've inserted all the fields or the spaces for your biographical information, you can maybe once again, to make that a little bit easier for yourself, you can delete those cells that have that information in so that you can clearly see the suggestions for your research questions. Please note that I just said suggestions. You are free to change this. I gave you these Excel spreadsheets and the headings and everything to help. If you would like to add information, so you want to ask, there's a specific few questions you have in mind that you would like to ask learners that you know maybe is a challenge for learners using technology for online learning or, you know, completing their education tasks and things online, you can add or remove headings and questions as you see fit. This is basically a guideline to help you. So please don't feel like you have to use only my headings, etc. So now you can see here that my first heading that is not under the biographical information, in other words, the person's personal details, is the heading smartphone. Now, to help you to understand maybe how to ask the question, you can switch back to your Excel spreadsheet and see under the, just please fix that if you're using this one, is a yes. Under the smartphone heading, I've said yes and no's, okay? So in other words, it would make sense if that question were something like, well, yeah, no, I'm not used to this computer, sorry guys. So the question would be, do you own a smartphone, right? That just makes sense. The next heading is number of WhatsApp groups. So type it into a nice question. How many WhatsApp groups are you on? And you can maybe even split it up and add a column there in your Excel spreadsheet if you maybe want to split it up into how many WhatsApp groups are you on for school, and how many WhatsApp groups are you on for personal reasons or something like that. If you would want to split it up that way, just an idea. And then you take each of your headings and you create a question from it under your research questions. Okay, so when you are done now with your questions under your research questions heading, there's a few things that we need to just make sure that you have to make sure that you are getting all your marks for the questionnaire. So let's go to the assessment rubric now and check. Okay, in the assessment rubric, you get questionnaire marks for clear instructions to guide the user in answering the questions. Answers are relevant and mostly provide answers that cannot be found in other resources. Question-enabled processing in spreadsheets. This means that you have some questions that give you a yes or no and some that give you a number, because remember, when we use functions in Excel, we have to use with numbers or work with numbers as well. And then just quickly one back here, if you do maybe have a question that has a combo box or even a ticking a yes or no, just add in brackets next to your question, please tick the applicable box, or please pick the appropriate option in the combo box, just to get that mark, definitely get that mark for the clear instructions to guide the users, okay? And then I'm going to get to this mark because we need the 25 completed questionnaires. We are going to use a mail merge for this, okay? If you know how to do the mail merge, then it's great, you can do it. I will make a separate video on doing the mail merge so that you can get this mark if you are not 100% confident with the mail merge. But as I said, if you're confident with the mail merge, you can go ahead and do that as soon as your questionnaire is done. And obviously you are using your Excel spreadsheet that you chose with the questionnaire that you just set up to do your mail merge. Otherwise, as I said, I will be posting a video soon on how to do that, and you can use that video if you need more information. Then the rest of the question marks on the questionnaire, the form is created electronically. Yes, you did it in a Word document. It's grouped together under relevant headings. Yes, we have our biographical information, and then we have our research questions. So you've got that mark. And there you can see you have a mark for that. You have at least 5 questions, excluding the biographical data, such as gender and age. So in other words, you need 5 questions under your heading for research questions, at least, to get that mark. And then the professional formatting and layout. Please just make sure you are using one single type of font and font size throughout your document. Make sure that it looks neat, that your questions are aligned properly. You can maybe even add numbering to it so that it looks a little bit more professional, and that you've created spaces for your person to fill in their answers. So don't just type a couple of questions directly underneath each other. Give a little bit of space for the person to fill in and complete their answers. And this is where you will also maybe use your developer tools. But whether you just type a line in for the person to answer or use the developer tools, as you can see, there's no mark specifically for you used developer tools or not. So as long as it looks nice and neat and professional and your layout is good, then you will get that mark. And that's your questionnaire. So it's an easy few marks, and it should be a quick part of your phase 2. And then the next video I will post will be on the mail merge, and also then on completing the Excel spreadsheet section of your part, your phase 2.